This episode is brought to you by AFS, Automated Financial Services, your partner for fast, reliable, and affordable payment processing. Whether you're taking payments at the counter, on the go, online, or through a full POS system, AFS makes it easy to get paid anywhere, anytime. They handle credit, debit, EBT, gift, and loyalty cards across every industry, and touchless options available for all in-person transactions. Entrepreneurs and ISOs can even earn monthly residuals through AFS partnership opportunities. The tools are yours, the income is yours. You'll get approvals in under an hour, 24-hour equipment deployment or reprogramming, low simple rates, matched or beaten, or they pay you, and 24/7 live customer service. You get the technology, rates, and support your business deserves. For a free cost analysis or rate quote, call 1-877-738-5010 or visit automatedfinancialservice.com. AFS, smart technology, real service, better business. Best Used Trucks in Crookston isn't just a shop, they're a family. For years, they've built their reputation on quality work and honest service. They're not like the rest of the big corporate fleets. They know their team and prioritize a healthy work-life balance. Sound like a great place to work? Well, Best Used Trucks is looking for a motivated diesel mechanic who's ready to grow with this great company. It's family first, no 24/7 on-call. Shifts are Monday through Friday, some summer Saturdays, and beet harvest. You'll get hands-on training and mentorship, competitive wages with health insurance, and a 401k retirement plan with company match and paid time off and paid holidays. Some mechanical experience is preferred, but they'll train the right people. Have a basic knowledge of hand tools, be able to perform routine maintenance, have a valid driver's license, and the ability to lift 75 pounds. Now, whether you have years under the hood or just starting out, find out what it takes to work for a great company. Stop by the shop to meet the team or find out more by sending your resume to jake@besttrucks.net or call Jory at 218-281-6300. Do you want to work for just a shop or a family? Reach out now to Best Used Trucks in Crookston. All right, Dirty Thursday, everybody. We are back. And how about that? Stephen Lewis back in the house today, too, after a couple of week vacation.
We're back.
Yeah, and of course, Dale, the producer, is also here today as we continue our behind-the-scenes series. I don't even know how to announce the guy. He does like a lot of everything. Mason Eisenzimmer in the studio. Wow, that's a lot of applause.
Hey, I'll give you a compliment. You didn't call him Mason Eisenchenk like I do every once in a while. So it's kind of tough. That's why I keep it at Mason Aaron so we don't make that mistake.
There you go, Mason Aaron. Yeah, Mason Aaron's Racing Videos. How about that? If you have any questions or comments, feel free to text or call. Our number is 701-213-0863, 701-213-0863. And for the first time ever, Kevin Pappenfuss is our first texter today. Yeah, he even beat Corey Linton. Heather McDonald right behind him.
Kevin Peppermore in the 10101.
They're the 1010101. All right, let's do it. It's our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go. Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Did you hear about the chameleon that couldn't change color? There's a chameleon out there and he couldn't change color. He had a reptile dysfunction.
Okay, that's for the first joke my neighbor tells me in about a month. I'll take that. That's pretty good.
Reptile dysfunction.
If your reptile is dysfunctioning for more than 4 hours, call a vet.
There you go. There you go. You're back. Welcome, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Something going on? How you doing?
Yeah, so the last couple of weeks just been helping a relative that has been under the weather. We're rallying and doing pretty good. Just me being here right now should show that. So I was able to leave this relative alone for an hour and come back in. And the first week, I do want to say I had to take a week for myself. We need to be a little bit better to each other on social media and in other places. I had AI used against me and in an area that I care very deeply about, and it was very, very embarrassing, very hurtful. Still pretty raw about it. So I just needed a week there. I thought it was just going to be a week, and then just started dealing with the illness in the family. So it's good to be back, and I just want to leave this with you all out there. Just everyone's fighting a battle you know nothing about, so be kind always. And so
there you go.
Good to be back.
And you're sporting a what hat tonight?
Columbus
today?
Blue Jackets.
The Columbus Blue Jackets. Okay.
Yeah. For those about to rock.
Okay. We always talk a little bit of hockey before we start the show because that's the way you and I are kind of wired. They came back from the Olympic break, started last night. Then actually Winnipeg beat Vancouver in overtime. Good for them. Minnesota Wild, boy, they got a tough one
Gold
tonight.
medalist Kyle Connor with the opening goal.
Yep.
Went across 9 time zones to make the game, so that was nice.
So we got Minnesota Wild at Colorado tonight. Oh, by the way, this video popped up. Let's take a look at this video here, talking about the Olympics and what happened there.
I just have audio.
Oh, okay. We just have the audio, so we're going to listen to this and see what happens here.
Whoa, Canada whines about 3-on-3. True North in tears couldn't score 5-on-3. McKinnon had the puck, couldn't beat Hallebuck, who gave your fans the blues. USA is king, winning everything. Thank you, Megan Keller and Jack Hughes. God keep your land. Gold medal and tariff free. Whoa, Canada, silver for he and she. Whoa, Canada, silver for she and he.
If I had 3 guesses, would I get it right?
Yeah, I don't know who did it.
It sounds like Wisco.
No, it's not. It was actually some show. It's a podcast or something, and I just kind of ripped it off from them. And
that sounded a lot like Danny. That was really good, though.
Actually, I've got the video of the guy. Actually, Jimmy Valandry, an old friend of mine, played for UND hockey years back. He's the one that sent it to me. Corey Linton, woo. Chris, good morning. Hey, Steven, Connor Hellebuck, the GOAT.
I don't want to take too much time from Mason. I think we'll leave that at that. But
Okay.
the one thing I will say, he can't catch a cold in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but he looks like Dominic Hasek in Italy. So
Yeah,
that's,
and
always
the
great.
thing is, I've been hearing from people, best hockey game I've ever seen, blah, blah, blah. Talk to a hockey person. If you're a Canadian, it might be a good hockey game, even though you lost. But it was not the best hockey game I've ever seen. I'm a hockey guy. It was probably the best goaltending clinic I have ever seen, but
Well, everyone,
anyway.
and I don't fault anyone, is just like, man, this is the best guy ever. It's like, you watch him once every 4 years. I watch him 60 times a year, every year.
yeah.
Like, we've never seen that before from him.
Right.
Anyway,
all
moving on.
Getting away from hockey, Tyler Reddick, back-to-back NASCAR wins to start the season. Not a bad deal for him.
Yeah. Well, especially on another, I don't know if they run plates there, but another aerodynamic track. And he didn't have any aerodynamics on the right front, and he still pulled it off.
Yeah, and that's the fastest mile-and-a-half track in NASCAR.
Yes. Yep.
One more thing before we get into what we're here for. We have and you've seen the mirrored ball trophy up there, the Dancing for the Special Stars for the Special Olympics of North Dakota. I was lucky enough, Mark Dobmeyer and I were in the very first competition 15 years ago. And we had a reunion last night for the first time. And Dale, why don't you show that picture if you could? There you go. Mark and I with the mirrored ball trophy. I was trying to find the pictures from 15 years ago, and I couldn't get my hands on them, but I just wanted to see how bad we have aged or how well we have aged.
Well, here's my question. You two were partners, right?
No.
Oh, no?
No, I didn't dance with him. No. He had a
Come on,
he had a partner,
go.
and I had a yeah,
I had to go there.
And the funny thing is how I ended up with the trophy because he won, him and his partner. But it's because of votes, and votes are money. Well, Mark's fans have a little bit more money than apparently John's fans do. But so he'd had this at their old race shop, and I hijacked it one night, and he didn't know about it. He didn't. You ever been to their shop? There's 100 trophies in there, you know. And so I stole it. And he never said anything after a couple of months, so I started bringing it to random places and using other people's phones and taking pictures and sending it to him to see if he could figure it out. When he figured out I had it, gave it back to him, but he gave it to me because he said we danced better. So there we go. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. He won, but I'm going to leave it at that. Mason Eisenzimmer, how you doing, man?
Doing great. I'm every time someone pronounces my last name correctly, I'm very impressed. So.
You notice I slow down when I say your last name, though.
You know, sometimes you got to do that. Well, you're an announcer, so you understand there's some names out there that it's like, oh boy, this might be a struggle.
Yeah, and you know, like for example, I'm calling a state hockey game tomorrow in Fargo, and that's one of the first things I do is I talk to anybody on the team, a coach, whoever I can, just to make sure I get pronunciations right. I did the World Juniors, what,
I was
20
about to
years
say
ago or
it's
whatever.
not Team Belarus in Thief River, so.
And I got stuck doing those games, and they always bring a media person with them, and you sit and you meet with them, and they try to explain how it's pronounced, and you write it phonetically, and it's an old trick in radio. If you sound like you know what you're talking about, odds are most people think you do. If there's no struggle, if there's no hesitation saying the name, you just blip it out like it's Nelson or Hanson or whatever. But I'd be saying these names, and they're like 40 letters long without any vowels in them at all. And you'd see the players on the bench, you'd see them kind of, you could see how they were chuckling, and they'd elbow each other like, did you hear that stupid American butcher your name? But yeah.
And I've always been good with names. We had a doctor here in the last couple of weeks, and I looked at his placard, and they all call him Dr. Milos because no one even attempts his last name. And I was like, it's Mihailovich. It's not that tough.
Oh.
So he came in the second day, and I went, oh, Dr. Mihailovich. And his eyes lit up, and he was like, how did you know that?
It's like, are you from Stephen?
Yeah, so.
Or Argyle? Jeff Cornels, what's up from sunny southern Minnesota? Jeremy Bloom, hey, Mason, my buddy. As a cousin of one of the best goalies in the state of North Dakota. When a goalie is hot, absolutely. Nathan M. can't hit the net. Stephen Lewis, okay, I'm done. Brina's saying, Mason, hello. There we go.
I'm sure he'll post that 3 times on my Facebook wall, and I'll have to untag it.
But
so.
then he's done, though.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Well, you know how Florida men are. So.
Yeah. Once I get done with this question, we're going to get rolling. Mason Eisenzimmer, Chargers fan?
Yes. There's a little bit of a story behind this.
Okay, let's hear the little bit of a story.
So growing up, I really didn't watch NFL football at all, maybe the Super Bowl if it was on. And my best friend is a Broncos fan. So he's big into Denver Broncos football, and he hated the Chargers at the time I started watching it. And I had the choice of like either mocking him by being a Chargers fan, and that seemed like a better option than becoming a Vikings fan.
Sure.
Because freshman year, in my dorm, it was all Vikings fans, and they were like constantly.
Where'd you
yelling
go
at
to
the
school?
TV. NDSU.
Okay.
Just down the river. So
I want to hold that against you.
Yeah,
there.
I was about to say.
yeah,
Anyway.
so I'm like, well, I don't really want to be suffering as a Vikings fan, not knowing that being a Chargers fan would be just as much suffering, if not more. So that's
Okay.
how that kind of relayed me into being a Chargers fan.
Okay, so now my daughter-in-law works for NDSU in the sports department, more or less with the football team. And so there's this weird deal that goes on there because my grandkids. So my grandson is 4. So my son's a UND guy. I mean, he didn't go to UND, but he's a UND guy. And then, of course, we got the NDSU, but 4-year-old grandson who can hit a golf ball better than me. You get that song going, na 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 na, and he'll come running that thunder with the hooves, and the horns and all that. But I want to know a little bit about you. I want to hear your story here. I mean, yeah, I've seen you at racetracks. I see Mason Aaron's racing videos, but I want to know a little bit about Mason Aaron. I don't want to know anything, or Mason Eisenzimmer, without talking about racing first. Let's go back, start from wherever. I want to know about you.
Sure thing. So I grew up in Minot, North Dakota, and so graduated high school from there back in 2011, which is crazy to think about.
Oh, wow. You graduated the flood year, huh?
Yes, that was a whole ordeal.
I suppose.
I tell you that, yeah, that was crazy. So I went to North Dakota State for a civil engineering degree. I don't exactly work in that field now. I work more in like an aerial mapping type job. So kind of work with a little bit of drone imagery and things like that.
I know a lot of drone guys.
So yeah, I get to work with a little bit of that technology, which is really fun to do and very gratifying. It's fun. I enjoy it, and so. Very active in my church down in Fargo, so spend a lot of time there on the weekends as well, in combination with racing. So weekends are always very busy for me, and so and then on the off side, besides racing, I do a lot of running. So I train for half and full marathons.
You're one of those guys. It's like one of those guys. Believe it or not, I was a half miler in high school. I was 6 foot tall and about 175 pounds, and now I'm 6'2" and about 235. But I ran a 159.9.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and then I was co-captain of the track team, and then I quit because I got accepted to radio and television school 5 days after graduation. I had to go back to school, so I missed out on. In North Dakota, you just set a set time, and you go to state. Minnesota, you got to go through subsections and sections before you can go. So I had to drop out, and it was still to this day one of the hardest things I've ever done. With your spirituality, how did that start for you?
Well, I went to church growing up every week with my my parents and then my grandparents mainly as I went through high school. And then through college, it was kind of more just trying to find, myself and kind of trying to find an identity. And so I got plugged in with a great group of friends, and they would invite me to their small groups or their church services or whatnot, and just kind of developing relationships from there and just kind of strengthening, because through college, you're going through all sorts of emotional ups and downs.
Oh yeah. People want you to make up your mind what you're going to do, and then you don't even know what color socks you're going to wear that day. For Pete's sakes,
Yep, and so it's just finding a good, solid group of people that would support me in my academics or just in my social life was just very big, and so that kind of rooted it even deeper, and so since then it's been just growing every day, every single week.
Married, kids, any of that fun stuff? Own a dog or a cat or anything?
I have a cat. She's very she's very clingy, and I love her though.
Yeah. What's the cat's name?
Malacca.
Malacca. Oh, how about that? That's all right. I think my last 3 cats I had were, I don't even know if I can remember, Pabu, Dave, and what was the other one? Pabu, Dave, and now I'm losing my mind here.
I had a friend whose cat's name was Steve, and I was like, "Wow, that's an interesting name for a cat."
Oh yeah. A lot of my animals have human names. My dogs right now.
Interesting name for a guy.
My dogs are Lewis and Wally. And
you had a Steve, you had a Lewis.
Yeah, yeah. And in fact, my brother and sister-in-law have a dog named Steve. So there we go. So now you live in Fargo, and okay, I wanted to ask you about the Olympics. I would imagine you're more of a Summer Olympic guy than a Winter Olympic guy, or are you just a sports person?
I'm kind of just a sports person. I didn't watch a ton of the Olympics. If it was on in the background, I would watch it, but I enjoy watching sports in general.
Yeah.
There's not one besides racing that kind of sticks out more above the other. Probably, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. NFL is probably the big one I follow, but every other sport's kind of just if it's on, I'll watch it a little bit.
Kevin Papafoot says, I feel for you, Mason. I've been through it for 67 years, right, Stephen? I know. I've been through it for 61 for me, starting tomorrow. Heather, my ex-father-in-law, may he rest in peace, had a doctor that he couldn't pronounce his name, so he just called him Dr. A. Butt, Fucker.
Blank.
Jeremy, I like to see his cat every time I watch his video. It's cute.
Oh, yeah. She made an appearance on the interview I did this last week. Not even a minute and a half, and my cat's going across the counter. I'm like, here we go.
Nothing you can do about it.
Right.
I do a podcast from home on Monday nights called Renegade Radio, and I've got 2 dogs. And if I don't put a gate up on my wife's office upstairs, they're right there.
I feel like that's 90% of shows you do from home. The pet's going to make an appearance at some point.
Yeah. If not, you're going to hear them bark. Like last night now, the coyotes were out, so it was all night long. Like my friend who owns a corgi also told me, he says, that corgi, he goes, they can hear a coyote fart from 150 yards, and they sure can. We did an interview during COVID with Mason, and Piston decided he needed to be on the podcast.
Yes, he was a main subject for quite a while.
Yeah. You got to love the cats, though, and the animals. How'd you get into distance running, like Dale there? Because let's face it, being a distance runner is like being a goalie. You got to be a little whacked in the head, in my opinion, because I was one of them at one time. I mean, I was a half miler, but you train. Most of my smallest or shortest runs were 5 miles, 2 to 5 miles. But you got to be a little bit of a different cat to be a distance runner. And was it just something you stumbled upon accidentally, or because most people don't just wake up one day and say, hey, I think I'd love distance running, I'm going to go do it?
Yeah, so I did cross country in high school.
Okay.
Didn't do track because I was in other activities during the spring months. But then once I got to college, I'm like, I'm not fast enough to be on a collegiate team, so I just kind of jogged here and there for fun. And then a group of my friends, we were actually planning to do several of the events during the Fargo Marathon. And so I was like, you know what, let's try a half marathon, because a bunch of my friends were doing it. So it's easier to jump into it when someone else is doing
Absolutely.
it. And we enjoyed ourselves. And so I'm like, this is kind of fun. And so I just started running for fun. And then, one half marathon turns into another and then to another. It's like, well, I could do a full marathon potentially if I keep up training. And so...
and there you go.
There we go.
No, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like one of these lands on sites weekend. Does it not?
Yes. So usually I run the Dick Beardsley over in Detroit Lakes, and that's always on the Saturday of the John Sites Memorial Weekend.
So you're always going back and forth, and I'm just tired from the sites from, either the racing or the extracurriculars, and it's like you're gonna go get up in the morning and run, like
Yeah.
Some people have other priorities than us,
well,
Stephen.
you know.
Kevin Paphos. No, I mean saying my last name. Oh yeah, I get that. Joel Mason's a great human and is always welcome to base camp from our trailer. That's awesome. Joel
Greatly
and that
appreciate it.
team, they're awesome people.
Yeah, that's why when he was first today, I called him Kevin Peppermore because I couldn't when I was a kid when he was racing. So he enjoys that on Facebook. I couldn't even say 101. He was always 101.
Oh, 101. Yeah,
Yeah,
there
so-
you go. How many races do you run a year?
As far as running goes, I do, 3 to 4 half marathons and 1 full marathon.
Okay.
Is what I've done the last couple of years.
All right. Dale, the producer, do you ever run with this guy or against
I think
him?
we've both ran the same races before, though. I am nowhere near as fast as Mason, though. I'm way. I'm more of a middle of the pack kind of a runner there. Mason, I've seen some of your times you post, dude. You got some legs there, man.
Thank you. It's these last couple of years I've been really focused on the strength training, which I still need to work on, but it's been really good. My goal is to qualify for the Boston Marathon, and so I need to continue to work hard at that.
Sure. Wow, that'd be cool to run Boston.
I have one follow-up. I have to ask you. I've seen your photos. It always crosses in my mind. It's like a bucket list thing I need to do one of these years. But a few years, they have done the marathon on the Daytona racetrack.
Yes.
So just what was that like doing that as a race fan and being in the business and as an avid runner? What was that like experiencing that?
It's really cool because, of course, it's the week before the 500 and all those activities start up. And so they've done this event the last, I want to say, 4 or 5 years. And like the first part of the half marathon, you run around the speedway through the infield and everything. And then you run out basically the beach and back. And it's really cool because like the first 2 or 3 miles, it's like, wow, this is like a spectacle. You're actually on the speedway and running around, and it's really cool. And so like the first 2 or 3 miles, you're kind of just enjoying and taking in the scenery. Well, since I've done it the last 2 or 3 years, now I'm just like really running for time because I'm like, I've seen it before.
Yep.
But most of the 5Kers and people that are doing it for the first time are just kind of like taking pictures as they go through.
So you got to be way down at the bottom of the track then.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
If you run on the banking, because like even like on the
Oh,
straightaway,
you'd never be able to do it.
No,
Even on the straightaway. Yeah, you're right. I did manage. I don't know if you saw the pictures the other day from Lori and I were down at the Daytona 500 a couple of years ago. We did get to sign the checkered, cross finish line and start finish line. That was kind of cool. But yeah, great place. Replying to Kevin Papenfuss, I went to college with a Papenfuss, so I know. I know a Papenfuss in town here too. Kim Young just tuned in. This is the guy that does the racing videos.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. How did you get into the racing thing? Not the running racing, but the vehicle racing, the car racing, the whatever racing. How did you get into that?
Well, my parents brought me to the track when I was pretty much 6 months old.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And my mom pitted for my late uncle who raced back in the 70s and 80s.
So your mom pitted.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Wow.
who would the uncle have been?
His name is Glenn Stack.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he raced for a handful of years, and then my parents just would go to the races every weekend, and then it just turned to me and my dad mostly throughout the rest of my like early upbringing to high school, and so. One thing leads to another. I am always a collector of hero cards and pictures.
Oh.
And so
To this day.
to this day, yes, you should see some of the boxes.
I was
have.
going to say, I bet. I bet.
Yeah, and so I'd always go in and ask drivers for pictures, and then some of them wouldn't have any, and my mom would always be like, well, maybe you should get a camera and take some pictures yourself. I'm like, well, there's an idea, and then, pictures turns into like video because you kind of want to play around with video a little bit, and YouTube was just starting up, and so had a couple of clips, and a driver's like, you actually do a really good job with that. Would you mind recording me? Sure. So recorded him, and then everyone's like, dang, this guy's actually kind of decent. So
And the rest is history.
the rest is history.
That's a great story.
It's crazy. That's how it happened to Mike. He just wanted to.
Yeah, I remember when Mike first started.
He 2012, I think he started in Norman County, and he was doing the reports, and it just came to a point that he couldn't find anyone to get pictures from, so he brought a camera of his own once, and then Aaron Wetterlin, hey, you got a camera? Can you make driver cards? Well, now here we are.
Yeah, now it's crazy if he even get you guys,
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
guys are so busy. Let's see. Late to the party, but boy, am I happy to see Mason and Steven today. Woohoo. Oh, whoops. Sorry. You too, John. Love the video you did of Blaine last year. Thanks again. Here's a good one. Corey Litton, I want to see a foot race between Dale and Mason for fastest video guys in racing.
Okay, I've got a quick change up on that one. Why don't we add you, Corey, to it and make it fastest announcer?
Oh, no, because then I can't do it.
I didn't invite you.
Okay.
Three-way. Look, I didn't want...
For those guys announcing,
I didn't want to put you in a...
Yeah.
I can put Corey on the spot.
I can do the fastest cane race, but so we'd have to set up first it would have to be a distance.
Oh, you know what? We'll throw Wisco in there too, but he has to wear like his checkered overalls or something.
You're making
goofy.
things. Well, then you might as well add beer in there, but Mason won't have that. So that would be pretty cool.
If it's distance-wise, if it's more of a sprint, I would put money on Dale.
Yeah.
Well, actually, to be quite honest, Wisco's the only one that drinks even a little bit out of the four of you guys, I think. Dale, you'll have one every once in a while. But...
Oh gosh, yeah, I'm more of a beer before bed.
Yeah, none of the four are really wild about it. So.
I haven't been drinking much beer lately because I'm trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
So I've been drinking brandies.
Corey hit a
Brandy water.
Corey hit a fun milestone the other day. That was
Oh yeah, it was.
That was
worth a round of applause too.
That was one of the first things I saw. I think yesterday morning.
Anybody that puts that
cool.
effort in like that, I got to give them all the credit in the world. That is for sure. Mason, do you ever think about when you were in this? Have you ever raced a car? Have you ever got to hot lap anything, or did you mess around with that? Because I did back in the day, and I just figured out I'm guaranteed a check when I announce, and I'm not guaranteed crap when I race, and I wasn't that good. But did you ever dabble in that, or have you raced too?
I have a couple of times raced in a mechanics race up in Minot.
Sure.
Usually on the last race weekend of the year at Motor Magic, they do that. And I've raced a hobby stock and also a stock car. Stock car was absolutely fun. Brody Carlsrud's stock car, which is actually it was a really good car, and it handled really nice. It's one of those things where you jump in and it's like you feel like you're going so fast, and then you watch it back, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You get a bigger appreciation for what these drivers do on a weekly basis.
Yeah. Heather says, you drank beer last Monday, sir. Well, yeah, I did, but this is about the only place I drink beer anymore is when I'm here. Or Wait, or The Drum, or Rumors. Okay, wait, I'm still drinking beer. Corey Litton, thanks, fellas. As I'm sitting here talking about us drinking beer, and Corey goes and says, thank you.
It is crazy how different it is once you get behind the wheel of something. If you've never, it's unlike anything else.
Is it terrifying, fun, or all of the above?
I kind of equate it to like when I start out like a running race, because like a little bit you're a little nervous.
Got the nerves, yep.
And then once you get going, like for the first like lap or two, then it's like you get comfortable and you start to be a little braver and a little braver. But like when the track I raced on, it was super slick.
Oh yeah.
So if you mash the gas a little too hard, you be slip sliding, then that gets your attention.
You'll be pointing the wrong way in no time. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like me, I've been 115 miles an hour on snowmobiles. I used to race those too, and I'm not afraid to go fast. But I've been offered a chance to hot lap almost every type of car there is, and I always decline because I'm such a firm believer of Murphy's Law. If something could go wrong, it probably will with me. I'd be afraid of a $8 part breaking and I put a race car into the wall and destroy it. I can't afford to replace it.
Right.
And so that's one of the reasons why I just say no thank you.
That's why I said to Corey Palm, I was like, hey, let me check my bank account real quick.
Before right. And that just, that happens. But,
well, I think for me, I'll just pick your brain one more time about it. When I got in and tried it, it's so weird, the vision, because the car is so, and I don't know if the stock car is similar to a Renegade in any way, but like the vision, you're never seeing really straight the vibration of the car. It's just like you're being, knocked around to where you can't see straight. It's just little things like that getting used to.
Yeah, and I think for me, when the last time I raced, this was several years ago now, but like your peripheral is like,
the periphery too.
So different. And granted, we didn't have a lot of cars out on the racetrack, but just trying to hold a straight line was kind of my main focus. Because if you're getting like passed, for instance, you don't want to try to hinder someone else and try to like limit as many chances for conflict as you can.
Right,
so
right.
It's a lot of things to factor in when you're racing a car.
Did it help you at all in what you do with like GoPros? Or the way you shoot races after that, having to appreciate it from behind the wheel? Because it did help me as a race director in so far as coming to the periphery thing. Oh, you guys really can't see anything.
Yeah.
So every time I've directed a race since I've been in a car now, it has definitely changed the way I do things on the radio.
Yeah, absolutely. Because a lot of times when things happen, you have to make a call on a caution or something like that. You have to understand like how like you can hear cars when you're racing, but it's not so much like you can think of they're really close, but then all of a sudden it just could be bouncing off the walls depending on the track.
Right.
And so sometimes people like maybe know someone's out there if they try to squeeze someone into the wall, but then you also have to understand that they can't totally see and they have to fight for every inch because when it comes down to the end of it, you want to go for the win.
Are you a fan of just dirt track, or are you a fan like me? I'll watch 3 kids run a tricycle on their garage floor if it's watching some kind of racing. But are you that way, or is there any racing that you're just like, I don't want to watch that?
I pretty much any racing I'll watch. I haven't gotten into like F1 or anything like that yet, and so
We got a guy back here that could help you if you're looking.
I've been told that it's been gaining steam over the last few years, but I haven't gotten into it yet.
It's a little different.
It kind of waxes and wanes.
Yeah, What I don't like about it is it's like the Kentucky Derby. Yeah, it's not all about the race anymore. It's about who's there, what they're wearing. You know, you see these people down, before they start an F1 race, and you got the who's who of the celebrities, and half of them have no freaking idea
That part
what's
of it
even
can be
going
kind
on.
of fun, though, in that they're in different countries all the time.
yeah.
So you see different people, and it's not exactly the same all the time.
All right, Jeremy is saying, I'd like to see Steven and Mason race around the track in the streeters, 10 laps. That'd be good.
That would be good.
If they're going to do
I'll
that,
call Greg and Sarah real quick and see.
hell, if they're going to do that, put me in a car. I'll jump in with you guys.
The one
wouldn't
thing
mind
I
doing
want to
that.
do now that I've done kind of the sprint thing, I wouldn't be any good at it or be able to figure out the transmission. I really want to feel a late model.
Yeah, wouldn't that be
Now
fun?
Oh, yes.
is the big thing that I really want to do now. So
We're going to take a break. We've got a lot more to talk about. Dirty Thursday, it's behind the scenes. Mason Eisenzimmer joining us in the studio, of course, with Dale, the producer, and Stephen Lewis. And we will be right back, everybody, right after this, all right?
The most elite trucks compete on the most challenging dirt tracks. For the drivers, this is the only monster truck competition that matters. For you, this is the most exciting show you'll see all year. March 28th, the Valvoline Tire 1 Toughest Monster Truck Tour Championship Weekend returns to Alaris Center. See the trucks up close at the pit party. Pit passes are $15 or free at Valvoline Tire 1. The Toughest Monster Truck Tour. See why they call it the toughest. Brought to you by Baymont by Wyndham. March 28th, Alaris Center.
Get your monster truck pit passes at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, of course, been with Dirty Thursday since day one. And again, it is the behind the scenes on a Dirty Thursday today. Mason Eisenzimmer from Mason Aaron's Racing Videos. Now, when we take a look at this, Mason, and I didn't know all week long how to really introduce you. It's like videographer, announcer, cameraman, blogger. But what all do you do?
We're increasing the list, it seems like, year after year. Mainly, my first thing is videography. So I like to record the races, mainly the feature events, and like post them online after the fact. I have dabbled in announcing over the last couple of years, usually just a handful of gigs. Like to announce with one of my friends over in Bismarck and Mandan a couple times a year.
John, right?
Yep, John Breckel. And last year, it seemed I was like the main substitute announcer for a couple of places.
Oh, sure.
So filled in for Corey Litton over at Buffalo River, filled down at Brown County Speedway, and those are fun too.
They are. That I love doing that. I've been fortunate enough to do a few races at Buffalo River. I've been lucky enough to go to Greenbush, of course, Devil's Lake a bunch of times. I've never got to do Fargo. I've never got to do Norman County, but I love going to a different venue and just seeing what it's like and seeing the people. And I've fallen in love with some of these venues too because they're all fun. But
I've really missed Aberdeen because that falls on our South Dakota trip for NOSA, but it's also the Outlaw Late Models. So
Yes.
I'm gonna have to. I really want to get back to Aberdeen, but I hate missing the show here. But
Kevin Papafoot says, if I was still racing, I'd let you run my car. I've let at least six people run it, even Rick Auckland. Nick Curtis. Nick, would you just wake up? Good morning, all. Streets, mods, late models all have the same transmissions now. I did not
I think
know
he's
that.
on a different schedule these days, so I'm not going to fault him for that.
Okay. So, do you make a living doing what you're doing?
Racing, no.
Okay.
No.
More of a hobby, but I mean, you don't. Do you lose money doing it?
No, so thankfully there's a lot of people that support me as
Sure.
far as like drivers, teams, just people in general, just kind of giving some gas money every now and then when I show up to the track.
Yep.
Every little bit is helpful, and I've kind of had a focus over the last couple of years that I think my main goal is just to showcase the racing, the people in it. When I start to focus on like trying to make money off of it, then it just loses all the fun out of it, and so it's more like when we had a comment from Jenny earlier with the GoPro video from Blaine that I put in his car last year, and that was so cool to just see his face light up, just to be like, holy crap, I'm getting a GoPro in my car, and he had a really good run that night.
And the reason I asked that is because that is why we are doing these shows behind the scenes, because people that they have no idea, what all goes on behind the scenes. They show up on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, whatever night it is. They don't realize all this kind of stuff, and they don't realize that a lot of people don't make squat doing it. It's for the love of the sport, and you are a perfect example. A lot of people would say, why would I want to go do all that when it isn't hardly paying me anything? I mean, it's for the love of the sport, and it's people like you that make this sport as big as it is. And that's kind of one of the points we're trying to really make when we do these behind-the-scenes shows. So Jenny says, made him feel so special. Kylie, oh, crap, that reminds me. Did you ever replace your GoPro case, Mason? Was it the 100 or the Gopher State show down there where it got broke?
Oh, gosh, I don't even remember it anymore.
Okay. And the love of photography, it's a great combination. Heather Morley, yeah.
Did it happen on Hotfoot's car? Or?
I think it did. Boy, that was like 4 or 5 months ago now. I go through so many
Feels about
lenses.
like 4 or 5 years at this point.
Yeah, I go through like a handful of lenses every year, but they're so easy to replace that I don't even think about it. So
somebody says you have a Patreon account?
yes, it's a-
Patreon.
Patreon. Okay, let say it. So tell us what it is. So if somebody wants to help you out, they can.
Yeah, so Patreon is basically a crowdfunding platform, and a lot of creators use it to help support the endeavors they do. A lot of creatives. So, like if you have like art or, like in my case, videography or photography. So I have different levels of like support that people could jump to. And one thing I actually thought about adding, I think I'm going to add this year, because I got a really decent drone now. And so I would love to, like, if anyone wants to support me as far as drivers and teams, I can get them like an aerial photo package.
Cool.
Just as part of the support, just because, everyone wants to look for like specific content or photos to share on the racing page throughout the summer. And so sometimes photos like that can help.
I love drones, especially at dirt tracks, but the drones at the Olympics was starting to drive me nuts, because you could hear them following the bobsledders, the skiers. You don't hear them at the racetrack. You'll see them running around up there, but you could hear them so much.
I forgot about
I
it.
was going nuts.
So being 7-hour difference from Milan, you'd forget about it every morning. You'd turn it on and you're kind of groggy. You're watching the skiers and it's like, why are their skis making that sound? Oh, it's the drone.
Yeah, it's the drone following them right behind them.
Started the same way. So.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you what, Mason, you got a lot of people here. Mason's a great racing ambassador. You could be having a bad night, and him walking by with that ever-present smile can turn your mood around. Bringing awareness is huge, and you do a great job, Mason, especially for people that have no idea what racing is like. There's a lot of them. Jeremy, I'm always happy to see Mason at Rice Lake Speedway and Red Cedar Speedway.
Well, you have
for
to.
racers, we always do our selfies.
You have to do it now.
Yeah, and what sound did the drones make again? I don't know.
I'm going to go home and record that and make it my ringtone.
Thankfully, the drone I have is a lot quieter than my old one, because the old one you could hear from 50 miles away.
Oh, you could, huh?
Yeah, this one is a lot quieter.
All
Did
right.
it mess with your video at all? It was so loud, or?
No, because the drones I have or have had in the past, they don't record sound.
Oh,
So
okay.
that didn't affect it.
Okay.
Okay, and if you're looking to help support Mason, visit. There you go. They got the website up there, so that is cool. Thank you very much, Dale.
I literally just thought of something. Didn't do any prep for the show. Didn't know I was coming until this morning. When you put a GoPro on a car, I really love, and I can't wait to hear how you do it. You're able to put where the car is on the track with a track map.
Oh,
How do you do that?
So actually,
If you don't mind sharing
so funny enough,
Secrets of the trade.
secrets of the trade.
I actually have not been able to do that the last couple of years. For some reason, the GoPros have updated the GPS tracker and some of the.
Oh, it is
like-
GPS.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
just turn the GPS on what actually I found out that in some sanctioning bodies, that's kind of actually illegal.
Oh.
You can't do that.
Oh.
Interestingly enough. So
What,
I
do they think that helps the driver in some way, or
Yeah, because with like a
an advantage?
GPS signal, they can, get some like feedback, or
They might think it's traction control.
Yeah.
when it
or
isn't
what part of the track
either.
is faster because you've got it on GPS. You can figure that out.
Yeah, just all the
okay.
science behind that. And it's like,
Yeah,
well,
I
so
never thought of that.
All right, tuned in from Ramsey, Minnesota today. Teddy, 7K Racing. No
I
idea.
just interviewed him this last week.
Oh, all right. You can't in Wissota. Okay, that's about what you guys are talking about. So you can, man, you got people all around that know you. I was looking at your wardrobe when you walked in today, Mason. You've got Haudenschild's hat on, I believe. You got that beautiful pink Donnie Shots.
Oh yeah, pink's my favorite color.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just got a brand new pair of pink Crocs, by the way.
His safety vest is pink.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite driver?
Not anymore. There's too many to pick from.
And that's the same with me. I mean, back in the day I did, but it's like, do you have a favorite band? Do you have a favorite song? Do you have a favorite guitar player? Nope. But I could probably give you my top 10.
Kiss.
Greatest rock band ever. Greatest rock band ever, baby. God, that was so funny when I was doing a rock radio show. I'd play Kiss and it'd be the greatest rock band ever. And my phone lines would start lighting up. No, it's not. You're a dipshit. You don't know what you're talking about. That or, remember? Oh, well, we heard the song a lot during the Olympic hockey tournament.
Oh yeah. Freebird.
There we go. All right, I had to get that out of there.
Queensryche Thinking Man's Rock.
There you go. There you go.
Mason, I got a question for you. Now, you said you helped filled in an announcers. I imagine you probably do some of your videography on the side, maybe multitasking certain days. Has there ever been a certain day of the races where you found yourself all of a sudden the last minute, hey, we need someone to fill in announcing for like a half hour here, or this other fire and rescue over here? What has been your craziest multitasking day at the racetrack?
Craziest multitasking day. I've actually had to fill in a couple of times for announcing briefly for a part of the night. Usually when I show up, because my tendency is to not show up super early. I'm usually one of the last people to get there before the race.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Oh yes, every time.
Okay.
Especially up here in Grand Forks. Like if I stroll in before 7, it's a miracle.
Okay.
It is a miracle.
Same.
I think I'm usually there about 5. So, traction control can run off Bluetooth or GPS. I did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of. They're gonna start looking inside.
Thank you, Heather.
They're gonna start looking inside of roll bars and stuff for wiring, and there's gonna be a lot going on in the next couple of years as far as Bluetooth, GPS, traction control.
That is nuts.
So-
People hiding wiring in the roll bars, and I guess that makes sense.
Yep.
Like Steven? Oh, Nick Curtis. Oh, and he's laughing about.
What was that? What was that about?
Oh.
Not sure.
He'll have to elaborate. Like showing up late or?
Yeah. What's his favorite track to get food at? What's your favorite track to get food at, Mason?
Ooh, Wishick is the first one that comes to mind. They have some of the greatest burgers you could ever
Really?
have, like
Okay.
a tonner, half tonner. I always go with a half tonner because tonner's just way too much for me.
Okay. See, I'm not a burger guy, but
Is that something you worry about, like track food into marathon running? Is that
Not
ever
really.
a concern? No.
No,
Okay.
because with as much
It's not
running,
like you're doing it every day.
right, and as
Yeah.
much running as I do, I need calories. So
you burn that crap off in like no time.
Yeah, well,
I mean, what do you weigh? About $150?
Just about, yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
On a good day with my pink sweatshirt on. Yeah. Being late. Yeah, that's exactly what
Well,
Nick
I
Curtis
was late to
talking
the
about.
joke too, so it's fine.
Let's do one of these then. There we go. We were late with the drums too.
Cricket chirp would have worked.
We
there,
heard
too.
your we heard your favorite track for food. Do you have a favorite track to work
Overall.
to spectate? When you look at your schedule and you go, oh man, I get to go to this track tomorrow or whatever, or is there one of those? Crap, I gotta go. Do you have a favorite?
I don't think he has that latter one.
No, and most of us don't that are involved with racing. But do you have a favorite, easiest to work fan? If you don't even have to explain why, but is there a track that is your favorite?
One of my favorites is I-94 in Fergus Falls.
Okay.
I love that place.
See, I've never been there.
That place is awesome.
Okay, all right. That's another great question. How about favorite race you've ever covered?
Ooh, Wissota 100 week is fun.
Okay.
I enjoy seeing people from across the region come all together in one spot. It's kind of like, because I go to so many different tracks around the region, and then when everyone comes to one spot, it's like, oh, I could talk to so many people and catch up with so many folks, and it's such a great week.
That's where I feel like you and Papke are kind of different because I feel like the area that you guys cover is a little bit wider, so you know more people, to whereas if I go to a race like that, I'm always trying to figure out where my 2 or 3 people are kind of thing.
Sure.
But yeah, the 100 is definitely, and that's an insane week, right?
I need to get out a little more, obviously. Heather, take the wheel off, take the brake rotor off. Huh, there's an extra brake line, pretty much telltale sign. I never thought of that. Before I get to my next question, let's take a look at some pictures. These are just random pics that Dale, the producer, went through here. And we're just going to have you just try to explain what, where, how, and why these pictures are there. But they're all going to be good ones. There you go.
Okay, so this is over at Dakota Speedway in Mandan. This was me filming the interviews, post-race interviews from the stands. And they do all their interviews typically. Well, actually, they changed it up this last year. But at that time, they were doing all their Victory Lane interviews after the last race because they have like a curfew. And so while it looks like there's no fans in the stands, there's usually a pretty good crowd there. And so that was
I know we did that at
action photo.
We did that at the Governor's Cup because we were always up against it with the amount of cars and everything that was going on. Yeah, it's like
curfew
quarter to 11 or 11.
I think it's
spot
11.
on.
Or what happens?
I think you get like a fine.
Yeah, because I know we get fines. It's just a regular thing. We just pay it. John, you should plan to come down to the 100 one night and do some live broadcasting. You got to experience. It's a ton of fun. Corey Litton, 70 steps up in Mandan. Hear me. He knows I'm a guy with bad knees.
I was actually going to mention that about the Mandan deal. Obviously not a problem for you. I was going to turn it into a joke. Any plans on getting an elevator there at some point?
Okay.
Or
no,
or a piss bucket?
See,
because to me, going up and having to direct the sprints up there is like climbing Mount Everest and then having to direct the sprints. So
you're not wrong. Like, and my friend John Breckel, he co-announces at Dakota Speedway too, and like they were doing interviews after every race this last year at Oktoberfest, and half the time I'd come up like I'd be huffing because it's I'd be huffing, and he's like, Mason, would you like to do the lineup for this next race? I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
You're in shape. Jeez.
Well, luckily, Mandan was so nice about prepping the track for us that we'd have to run it in for laps after laps after laps. You guys just go ahead and buzz the track for a minute. That kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just craziness for me when intermission. That's why my wife is almost with me all the time because if she has to, she'll run the computer and the music and whatever. But I got to try to get down, go to the bathroom, and get back up, and it's the same thing. It's just you're huffing and puffing so hard. But
if you work Minot and Mandan back to back, you'll never have any worries about any other area of your life ever.
Yeah, I was just about to ask Corey, like, how many steps is it up to?
He knows.
Relax?
So, Corey, how many is Minot? Because I know it's close.
Yeah.
I feel like it's 73.
Yeah, I wonder how many River Cities is. That's quite a ways too, isn't it?
I feel like it's like more like 40 to 50.
I was about to say it was like the 35-ish range, maybe.
Okay. John, we rent an Airbnb just outside of Fergus on a little 9-hole golf course. There's an extra room. Usually you and Lori are welcome to join. I might have to try to get and do that. Thank you so much, Heather. Okay, now it looks like we're looking at Mason Aaron's onion. There's a nice butt shot of you, buddy.
Yes, this is north of the border in Estevan.
Oh, Saskatchewan.
Yes, this is I believe it was during the Dakota Classic Modified
I was about to say, is that Montar? Okay.
Yeah, nice little action shot with my bright pink vest. Love that thing. Love pink.
How'd you get to be such a pink guy?
That's a great question. I don't know. I've always been a fan of bright colors.
Yeah.
And so, like,
I like pink.
If you see me at the track, more than likely there's a bright color on somewhere.
Okay.
Well, typically he has been the only pink reflective vest, but I think Carter has one now too.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Sometimes it's a little hard if you're both facing the track. It's just like who's who now because like got used to you being pink and now there's two of you.
Yep, starting a trend.
Yeah, right.
So that's not a parachute on your back, I don't think.
Nope, that is my camera bag.
And is there a lot of gear in that thing?
There is quite a bit of gear.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, there's at least 3 or 4 GoPros with mounts on them.
Oh, wow.
There are a couple camcorders. I got my headphones. Usually there's like an extra like sweatshirt or shirt in there stuck somewhere. And so I try to be ready for as much as possible because I do set up base camp at various trailers. Like like a Ken Romo's trailer, but sometimes those are further away than where I currently am.
Yep. All right. I get it.
I need to have as much as I can.
Especially if you're in the infield, you're going to be stuck in there for a while.
Exactly.
By the way, 83 steps in Minot. I'm going to have to count River Cities.
83 steps on Highway 83.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. There we go. Look at that.
Yep, this is this was actually last year at the Daytona Beach Half Marathon. As you can see, it's very humid down there. Last year was super humid. Thankfully, it was cloudy that day, so the sun didn't come out until after we were done. This last year, a couple weeks ago when I went down, it was actually chilly. Like the high was mid-50s the first couple of days.
But still humid. Like,
it was still humid.
Frankly, it's gross in February, to be quite honest.
Like, I went to Volusia that night for the World of Outlaws Sprint Cars. Oh, my gosh, it was freezing that night.
Yep.
Vapor trails are cool, but, like, if you're running a camera and the dew is... collecting on electronics.
And
you don't want to be touching that stuff.
Even when we went to the Daytona 500, I mean, it was nice, short weather, but then it would get chilly. And then it would be nice. And then depending on where the sun was, and if you're sitting in the shade, then it would get cold. But anytime you can still be in shorts and a T-shirt in February, I'm going to take it. All right, look at that. Running in the pits.
That is Fergus.
That is Fergus. That was one of the first years the 100 was in Fergus. They did a 5K, just a little fun thing. It was only a handful of us that did it, but that's one of my all-time favorite pictures.
That is Josh Johnson's Rayburn in the background.
I see that. Yep.
Yeah, people were calling me crazy for wanting to run at like 8 in the morning I think this is actually Saturday morning of the 100. So like half the people are probably just getting to sleep for like an hour or two.
They probably just gave up on the night before, to be quite honest.
You actually probably got a good night's sleep, and you'll probably live a lot longer than we will.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that's in the Dakota Speedway booth. That's my friend John Breckel. He and I co-announce usually at Oktoberfest, and we hang out a lot throughout the summer and at the various tracks. He also announces at Jamestown, and he and I are big into bowling, so that's what he's busy with doing now.
Oh, you're a bowler too?
Yep.
Wow. What's your average?
It's around 195 right now.
Not bad.
Are Becca and Pelkey still involved there too? Or?
Yes, very much involved. So they run Dakota Speedway TV. Becca announces and does a lot of the kind of the social media stuff. And so we all host a podcast together, Track Packers Podcast. We're going to be starting that up next month. With the way life's been, they just had their first child over a year ago. And so they've been busy with young little Riley and with bowling and other winter activities. It's kind of nice to just take a little break from racing.
Oh, sure it is.
Kind of get rejuvenated once the season gets
We didn't have our NOSA show out there last year, so I kind of lost track of
And see the hat?
the goings on out
He's
there.
wearing the hat.
Yeah.
Daniel Aberly says, my brother lives 2 miles from Volusia. Man, I wouldn't mind living 2 miles from Volusia right now. It'd be nice down
They
there.
got to get you a pink Dakota Speedway long sleeve, though.
Yeah, they do. I do have, they do like a cancer awareness night every year. And
sure.
So I have a pink Dakota Speedway hat. So that's something.
That's how I ended up with the pink Crocs, was because of breast cancer awareness. So that was cool. They were sent to me. That is awesome. All right, there we go.
Yeah, this picture always makes me laugh because this was in Bemidji, and it was like the beginning of in May, and it was like 50 degrees that day, but I'm like in 4 layers. Like if that were
You
today,
look a little frumpy there.
by that time it was towards the end of the race, and I was like freezing. I'm like,
When you said it was Bemidji, I was like, that must be the Paul Bunyan if you're in layers, but
I'm pretty sure this was in May because like it's so crazy. Like if it were 50, 55 degrees today, people would be in shorts.
Oh, for sure.
But for some reason in May, it was like it was probably windy too.
it just got to 28 this morning. I was like, I don't need the jacket anymore.
Yeah,
exactly. So
that's during the Stampede a couple years ago. Corey, John and I made a really good team, especially that year because Corey was like the infield pit reporter, so he was kind of reporting stuff as it was happening, people in the pits and stuff. And then John and I were kind of bantering together on the mic, and that was a really fun time. I hope we get to do that again.
All right, that is all. Thank you, Dale. That was a nice job. Do you have a favorite picture you've ever taken, Mason, or a favorite video, or one that just comes to your mind that maybe even if somebody says, well, show me what you can do. Do you have that one in your mind that's just like, this will show you what I do?
There's so many to pick from. There's one that does stick out. So down at Casino Speedway, they had the USMTS come there a few years ago. They've been coming the last couple of years, but it's such a small track. It's like a very tight quarter mile, and I managed to catch them going 5 wide in the middle of the turn.
Oh, wow.
And I remember I sent it to Cody Packey because that's one of his home tracks. And he's like, can I share this? And I'm like, oh, of course. That thing blew up because people are like, oh, you can't race side by side at this small track. And when you see the USMTS go 5 wide,
wow.
It's like, not so fast.
Yeah, I can see how that would be.
I think MSTS measured it when we were there. I was there 2 years ago. I missed it. We got rained out last year. I think they measure it at like 0.21.
I'd believe it.
It's just barely over a fifth. That's so small.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is tight.
I love the place, though. I love a small little place like that.
Brandon McFall says, I think you're missing a few steps, Corey. LOL feels like climbing Mount Everest.
That it does.
Talking about him. Okay, do you have, because you've been, how many racetracks have you covered or done work at?
Right now it's between 30 to 35.
Okay, is there a dream event that you would love to go work at?
Right now, I don't have one. I enjoy the local racing scene.
Yep.
Because I enjoy the races more when there's people I know and I can talk to and interact with.
Sure.
And so, like Volusia is a great example. Like, I love the World of Outlaws sprint cars, but I don't know hardly anyone there besides like the Shots people and talking with some of them. And so usually that's where the one place I go to talk with people.
Right.
So
have you ever almost been killed in the infield? Have you ever had the close call where you almost had to check your drawers?
Yeah, actually, Casino Speedway is
pooped a little bit.
Casino Speedway is definitely one of them because, like, the infield, like, there's like protective spots, but race cars, they'll find the weirdest places to go through and land. So, like, I was in the middle of turns 1 and 2, not super close to the track, but a couple cars got together, and all of a sudden they got pointed straight, and they basically did a shortcut through the grass. Had I been on the other side of a pole, I would have had a really close
that's the worst
encounter.
thing about it because the safest place in Casino isn't a great angle for us.
Right.
So you know, I'm sure you're like me. You inch over a little bit and try and miss that pole or miss that tractor tire, and then pretty soon you're like, someone messes up in this corner, I'm gonna be staring right at him.
I keep thinking of, have you ever had a Nick Curtis moment? Heather says,
I'm not sure if anyone got that close.
Yeah, Heather says the steps at River City Speedway are not recreational size. They are not. They seem way taller. Maybe it's my little legs. No, I'm the same way because steps going up Devil's Lake are nice. They're just nice little steps. It's kind of like going to the back door of the Blue Moose or the front door of the Blue Moose. They're just nice, they're
weird.
They're not, and they're not this high up.
When I go to the Moose, I take every other because they're just weird.
Dan Wisco, the biggest thing that there are the same but different. 40 degrees in September, 40 degrees in March.
That's a good point.
That is
so true.
Very good point. Social media has been an unreal thing, but it's been a deal that just can suck the life out of a lot of things too.
Good and bad.
And social media, when it's good, it's great. Social media, when it's bad, it's ugly. And just in the last 2 years, we could come up with how many different instances of social media getting carried away. Your thoughts on that? Because like me, I'm not that thick-skinned. I'm really not. Somebody's going to say something to me, I'll call them out on it when I should just keep my damn mouth shut. But how are you with that? And do you ever run into that? Because there's always the haters out there because it's so easy to do when you're sitting at home behind a keyboard or a telephone. You're not face-to-face. I'm going to tell you everything I hate about you, but I'm not going to tell it to your face. And half the time, it's not even true. What do you think about all of this social media stuff?
Yeah, for me, especially over this last year, I've kind of stepped back a little bit from like social media just because it can get so toxic, and especially when it comes to racing, when incidents happen and people are kind of like very vulgar, and it's tough because a lot of these people personally, and like their true intentions. And like a lot of the stuff. Racing stuff happens. Like there's going to be incidents. There's going to be conflicts that you'll have to kind of work through. Like for me, I feel like my role within the racing community, especially when it comes to the video side, is just to promote as much positivity as I can.
Yep.
Because it takes like 10 positive posts to outweigh one negative.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
yep.
100%.
Yep.
So that makes me like work even harder just to help promote like racing in a positive aspect, just because it's so easy to kind of point at what's wrong or what could be improved, what's lacking. And so trying to do that in every area to help everyone as a whole is kind of my key focus.
Now, this is something I did not know until now. I mean, my job is social media, but I try not to be on it if I don't have to be. Mason's Motivational Monday videos are kick-ass. What is a Mason's Motivational Monday video? Although it's pretty self-explanatory, but give me an example.
Yeah, so sometimes, especially like after a race weekend, people are just down in the dumps because they have a bad performance. It's like, I'm going to sell everything. I'm going to quit racing. I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel. And it's like, well, it's kind of like the emotions kind of taking over. And usually, like, if you get a little reminder, it's like, hey, like, what you're doing is not easy. Not everyone can do it. Like, just getting to the racetrack for a lot of folks is like the biggest, toughest chore. And once you're there, it's like, okay, now I'm around people that are kind of trying to do the same thing. And so just trying to help people to keep going and keep pursuing their dreams. Sometimes for me, it's an indication of like things I'm working through emotionally wise. And so sometimes like some of the quotes and captions I put in there kind of reflect some of the things I'm feeling. It's like, okay, I'm feeling a little down in the dumps, but like, here's something to help pick me up, and hopefully it helps others do the same.
Now, do you wear your heart on your sleeve?
Not a ton. I like to hide my emotions quite a bit, and I hide from conflict. So I keep everything pretty internal, mostly.
Now, I know for me, and I'll just piggyback off of that. I think it's more of a, a mashup of kind of your best videos of the week and stuff when you do the Monday thing. But I'll get up on Monday morning and be stewing about, wow, I shot like crap that night, and then I had to go and direct the next night, and then some call and someone was mad about it. So Monday morning you wake up and you're still about it, and then that video pops up and it's like, all right, we'll try it again. So even from my standpoint, not being a driver, that's always something I look forward to on a Monday morning.
Yeah, and believe me, I have bad days too. There's like some days where it's like I try to put a GoPro in someone's car and then the battery dies, or I hit the wrong button. I just feel so bad. I'm like, gosh, that was a great
GoPro has so many more consequences than a picture camera.
Right. Yeah. And so it's like, man, I could have done something better to like alleviate that. And so, yeah, it's for everyone.
You ever do like me, show up to the track and where's my SD card? Damn it.
There's some time, well, half the time it's usually my drone. I'm excited to go get drone photos for like the tracks. And sometimes like, I left that in my bedroom. Oh, man.
Mason, it's obvious that you are well liked. Corey says Mason's legitimately one of the best people I've met in racing. You'll never find a more nicer, down-to-earth, respectful, and talented person in this business. It ain't all that way in the racing world, and that's going to be pretty cool to hear these things.
Yeah, thank you so much for the kind words, Corey. It's greatly appreciated, and I've worked with Corey so many times, and great person to work with as well. And I just feel like my role is just to try to be as positive and try to spread as much joy as I can through my racing.
And here's the thing I say about Corey Litton, and I tell him this now every time I see him. I wish I would have got to know him earlier. I just, for some reason, we just didn't do anything with Red River Valley Speedway or anything. And I never knew the guy until the last like 2 years. And that's the one thing I've always said. I wish I would have got to know him way earlier. Tom Corcoran, I always enjoy Mason's work. Dan Wisco, Mason's positivity and personality outweigh the negativity from haters. I try to do this on a daily basis, but he's definitely an inspiration. Stay sunny, people. Summer is almost there. I can't wait for summer. I used to be a winter guy. I don't like it anymore.
By the way, when are you coming to Greenbush?
Oh, that's a good question. So I finally saw their schedule the other day, and I'm
thinking the last one in July and the first one in August. If you want to come to both.
Okay, so yeah,
NOSA and LRA back to back.
Ooh, that'd be a good time. So I did almost get to Greenbush last year. There was the one Saturday, and this is a whole ordeal last summer, just with the weather. I think there was like a tornado warning that was like
oh yeah, I know what night you're talking about.
Into Greenbush.
That was the Outlaw late models were in Ada.
It didn't get canceled.
No,
you got
we
rained
got
on.
it in.
It started, but did you get the whole show in?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was in Ada.
Because they were moving all over the place trying to get in, weren't they?
So I was in Ada, and I was on the phone constantly because we were in a rain delay during the late model show, too. So I was on the phone constantly with the kid I was training, Eric Wensloff, great kid, great family. But I was on the phone constantly with them looking at their radar, and I was watching the rotation on the radar, and I was like, this doesn't look good. And I was messaging Kaylee, too, because Hotfoot was in her car in staging. Well, here she has to back out and inch the car into the trailer, and are we going to run or are we not going to run? It was 1,000 to win B-Mod that night.
Oh.
And it just sprinkled barely. The storm like went around town, which was weird. And they got the whole night in. They were done before we even started B mains and Ada.
I don't know how
So
Greenbush can get hit.
I have no idea.
See, Greenbush, back in the day before I moved here, I was wrenching on an A-mod, so we were in Greenbush every week. I'm from Thief River originally. But then getting called back up there a couple of years ago to go announce a race, it just brought back so many memories. And I get it. You know, you calling it your second home now. They do a great job up at Greenbush Race Park. I love it.
Well, speaking of, so here's Kaylee there.
Yeah, Steven was panicking, texting us.
So not
that
only
night.
am I trying to train the new people, I was also like, are all my people going to get swept away by the storm while I'm not there?
Yeah.
That
Hey,
kind of
at
thing
least
that-
you didn't see a tornado at racetrack last year, because I can mark that off my
Oh, were
bucket
you
list.
at casino when that happened?
I was.
Oh, wow.
You
for
were,
cool.
huh?
Yeah, that was.
I mean, it's cool, but it's not.
Was
You're
that
right.
I think that was when was that? That was after the 4th, right? Was that July?
Yeah, it was
6th?
late July. It was for a street stock tour race.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
were all in the pits. No, like we were all kind of like had the feeling like this doesn't look right. And all of a sudden we look over across the lake to the west, and it's like that's a full blown tornado.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think Jazz was with Trey that weekend too,
Yes.
so they saw it and they've told the story too.
Back in the
so-
old days of radio, I mean, I've been doing this since the early 80s. Back when we have tornado warnings and stuff, they would send you out with two-way radios, and we would go chase tornadoes and call them in on a two-way radio. And I was closer than I wanted to be to a couple of them. You think it's really cool till all of a sudden you're like, oh, shit, I'm not going to be able to get away from this. And you get lucky. But Dan Eberly, I remember that day, had both of you in my trailer just trying to get out of the rain for a little bit, and we were able to get the late model show
yeah, that's
in.
right. Yeah, I was texting Greenbush from Dan's trailer. I forgot about that part of it. But yeah, we got our heats in while I was in his trailer, and we hadn't even turned a lap at Ada yet. So
Yeah, hopefully this summer's a little bit calmer weather.
well,
Yes.
when it comes to the Outlaw late models, and I hate to keep the jinx going, but that's just a hallmark. If you need a drought buster, you have a fair at the track
Oh,
here
that's
in
all you need
town,
is a fair.
or the Outlaw late models in the
Yeah,
area. Then
I
you're
don't
good.
know.
So-
From rumor has it, I don't think we're going to do anything for the fair this year. I have a tentative schedule that I have, but I can't say anything about it till next week. I'll have to take a look at that. You ready for the
Same.
street
I will
stock
not
tour
say.
this year, Mason?
What's that?
Are you ready for the street stock tour this year?
I definitely am. Yes, that's always some of my favorite races of the year, and look forward to hopefully not having weather cancel a third of them this year.
Right. Tom Corcoran, you just made Stephen Lewis chuckle. Here I thought Stephen would be wearing a Hellebuck jersey, USA jersey today. That's worth a round of applause.
I ordered it on Tuesday. I'll wear it next week.
Anything we have missed out on? Oh.
Mason, I know you kind of mentioned it just a little bit earlier, but I'm sure people aren't aware, looking for another great racing podcast to listen to. Why don't you just tell people where they can track it down, what your show is all about?
Sure thing. It's called the Track Packers Podcast. We basically talk any sort of racing, whether it's dirt track racing. All of us are NASCAR fans, so we talk a little bit of NASCAR as well. We haven't done an episode the last few months just because with life being busy.
Everyone.
Yep. And so 4 of us on the podcast, my 3 friends, Becca, Jessup, and John over in Bismarck, and then myself. And we post that on Facebook, YouTube, and also Google, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
I would love to see that. That's a great title, by the way, too. Track Packers Podcast. I love that.
4 great people too. Like all of us NOSA folks always love going to Mandan. Hopefully a bunch of our guys will go to the High Limit show. This year
that's
and
gonna be
support
fun.
It. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure. Is that on your?
That is on at least
Schedule?
that and the I-94 one. I'm at least going to get to one of them.
Kaylee says, Mason, if you have stickers with you, give some to Steven so we can put some on our new wrap. Hey, I might even have a little GFBS sticker you can have. Josh Johnson, I'm calling it right now. Weather will be on our favor this year, in our favor. I sure
Okay,
hope
well,
so.
you're going to be in as much trouble as Punxsutawney Phil if
There you
that's
go.
not right. So
Eyes a rodent.
Hey, Josh Johnson, you could take the weather bug blame from me to you. Go ahead.
Does he blame you?
No, well, people blame me for the weather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people blame me for the weather because usually when I show up, there's weather in the area.
Oh, okay. Jordan Barker, hello, everyone. I appreciate you coming down here. I almost feel bad when I ask people to come on the show because it's people like you that stop everything in their day to drive down here and entertain us 3. And obviously a whole bunch of other people that are texting in. But I can't say enough about you. I don't even know you. I was so bummed when I knew I was going to be gone when you were here last time, and I left it up to Chad to get it. And then I think I was in Europe or something. I'm like, that son of a bitch, he's bringing him in. I haven't even met the guy. And now it's like, but anyway, Josh Barker says hello, everyone. I want to throw this out there. I'm going to be doing some work at the state hockey tournament tomorrow. I'll be in Fargo tomorrow, and I'll be there Sunday for my granddaughter's last hockey game of the year. Most exciting thing I've ever seen, 6-year-old girls playing hockey. No, it's not. But I'll be there, and I can't wait. And I'd love to spend more time with you whenever I possibly can. Come on up. Next time you're coming to River City Speedway, get there a little early. Let me know. You can be a guest of mine. We'll go running around in the golf cart and everything like we always do.
That's so funny you brought that up. I don't think I've ever seen you. You're walking in during the pit meeting. I'm like, man, he's later than I am.
Yeah.
This year should be better. I have a new job, and it's way more flexible, so I should be earlier
Oh,
more
good.
often.
Heather says there's not a cloud in the sky. Mason shows up, and suddenly it looks iffy. Kevin Pappenfuss, thank you, man. Great show. And it's the reason we have a great show is because of people like Stephen Lewis, Dale, the producer, and the guests we get like Mason, Eisenzimmer. Let's give everybody else a round of applause. You guys freaking rock.
And also, Mason also helped us out with this show we're talking before the air. Mason supplied a lot of those clips for the intro for the show that we updated a few months ago. So another big thank you again.
That's right. Yeah.
And then another one. So he's got the podcast. He's everything we mentioned. Also, you do the Wednesday night. You try and find a racer somewhere and do the Wednesday night.
Yes.
What do you call the Wednesday night deal?
Just Wednesday Night Live. Usually once that season gets closer or during the season, I try to bring a driver or someone on live kind of Facebook show like this. And so it's always fun to have questions and see how they can rattle the drivers or whoever it may be interviewed. So,
Sure.
Those are always fun too.
I helped you out that one time with Hope Swenson. So.
Oh, yes. Yes. Hopey goes racy race.
Hope goes racy race, for sure.
Wow. I missed out on something there. You guys rock.
Yeah, thanks for having
you,
me.
man.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming. Stephen Lewis, I'm so glad you're back. Dale, the producer, always doing such an incredible job. You know what? The behind-the-scene things, we're going to take a little break because next week we're going to have Lane Schwer
This will be a special
on the
one.
studio. That's going to be a good one. We are really, really keyed up about that one. And our show today, by the way, brought to you, and as always, by Rumors Sports Bar Casino in the Grand Cities Mall. In fact, I was with BT for a while last night. He is going to be in this year's edition of Dancing for the Special Star, so that is pretty cool. He was at their big reunion last night. Yeah, did we show that picture of Dolmeyer and me? We did, didn't we?
Yes, yep.
Okay, so, all right. Rumors Sports Bar and Casino, you know what? If you're going to go to a concert, if you're going to go to any UND sports, jump on the bus at Rumors. They bring you right to the front door. They pick you up. They bring you right back. You get yourself a beer. I think it's like $5. You can bet on the horses, play bingo. Try your luck with the charitable gaming. Great lunch and dinner specials. Room for parties. They've got the world-famous beer tower. Mondays, DJ trivia night. The Initials game every second Tuesday night. They're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Monday, well, let's see. What can they get today? Sandwich on the side, $7. Can't beat it. Rumors Sports Bar and Casino in the Grand Cities Mall. Well, we're not the Grand Cities Mall anymore. We're the Midtown District.
Tomorrow night, do you think they'll have the Jets game on? Because I think the Secretary of Defense is going to start. So.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
I had to get one more in.
All right, thanks. Check out Mason's work by going to YouTube, Facebook at Mason's Aaron Racing Videos, or search your favorite podcast app for the Track Packers podcast. Again, thank you guys very much. And again, Lane Schwer next week. Have yourself a great day. Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. It dings every time we go on the air. Boy, you know we love the Forks. We're Grand Forks' best source. We're giving the Forks their identity back. Thanks, guys.